Good evening. Welcome once again to the Torah Delight podcast, Parsha Shlach. We have a special guest here, my son, Bocher Choshev David Chaim. He's sitting in. He's going to hear the divrei Torah. He might contribute anything to the divrei Torah. As always, it is, or not as always, as quite often, it's Ber parsha from the Heilige Tzaddik, Morena Rav Tzaddik Rav Meilech Biederman, Rav Meilech Biederman. I've picked a few ideas which I hope you'll enjoy. I've been inspired by. Parsha Shlach Lecha, a very sad Sedra, but there are things we can learn from it. So Meilich begins, or it brings the first pasuk, Perik Yud Gimel pasuk Gimel. V'yishlach osu. Everyone knows who got sent. The Meraglim got sent. They didn't really want to go. They wanted to go. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't really want to send them. He asked Rabbeinu Shalom, should I send them? Rabbeinu Shalom says you can go. V'yishlach osu Moshe Rabbeinu el al pi Hashem. Kulam noshim es al pi Hashem. Kulam noshim roshei b'nei ha'edahema. Barashi kulam anoshim. Rashi says kulam anoshim. Kol anoshim shebamikra loshon chashivas. All kol anoshim shebamikra. When the pasuk uses the loshon of anoshim, it's the loshon of chashivas. And what does Rashi says? Oisim shakashem. That hour they were. At that time they were kashem. They were erech yidden. They were the tzedikah. They weren't. Start mention. So the famous kasha is. Since we know that they were kashein, they were erech yidden, even so much so that Rabbeinu Shalom himself aid on kashrusam, he was made and he gave testimony that these were righteous people. In Cain, case of Noflu. How did they go? From this high position, lebira mikda to this low position. Okay, how could they be? They were erechid and they were tzaddikim. How could they fall? Neros Bia, the Shem Nishmal brings down in Shnas Tovrish Ayin Vav Shekava Kosev Rashi at a pasuk. He brings a pasuk in the famous pasuk in Devarim Yitzcheskim Tomim Tieh Im Hashem Elekecha. You should be perfect with Hashem. Tomim Tia. You should be holy to be perfect with Hashem. His halach imah b'tamimus. What does that mean? You should go with the Biederman b'tamimus. The sapeh loy v'lo techake achad tzidus. You should go with the Biederman tells you. You shouldn't think about the future. You should have trust in Hashem. Anything that happens to you, kibbutz b'tamimus. You should accept it b'tamimus with wholeness. Then b'tamimus with perfectness. B'oz tiyu imah lechelkai. He says, what Bonsham tells you should go. You shouldn't question it. You shouldn't think about the future. This Bonsham tells you to do. If you don't go with tamimus, you don't go with faith, full faith in Hashem. Then the tonight to go with Hashem is that you have tamimus. If a person doesn't have tamimus, he doesn't have this faith, pure faith in Hashem. Then he won't be zoicha to walk with Hashem, to go with Hashem, to have that zchus. V'ilu lo hayim ma'avdin lesatimimus Elohim mamshichim mesom le'etzom b'ni lach heich yatzlich likush. So this is what he's saying. They were questioning, how will we go? That whole idea of going to Israel wasn't with an open mind. It was with this questioning. How are we going to how can we conquer Israel? If Rashi, this is what Rashi is saying, that if they hadn't questioned all these questions, how are we going to conquer the land? We've seen this giant and that giant. They wouldn't need weapons. Since they lost the mid of Tamimus, and they started thinking what's going to be in the future, how we're going to manage. Bonsham says, you're going to conquer Israel, I'm going to give Israel to you. And they questioned it, they lost this Tamimus, then they weren't with Hashem. Without Hashem's help, they wouldn't be matzliach. But with Hashem's help, they would be matzliach. And they lost Hashem's help by questioning what Hashem had said. This brings down the Shem Mishmor. If you tomim, if you have full faith in Hashem, then you will be with Him. Then Hashem will be with you. But tonight, Tamimus, this is the Tanaya Tamimus. You shouldn't look at the future. You shouldn't go after his own mind, what he thinks. And he should be mavatl. Give himself over to the Ratzon Hashem. Kamosh Omer ben Yisrael alayam ein lona ela divrei ben Amram. Amoven shahema omer shnishtucha noshun lefneinu. They said, let's send peace. They said, let's send people to spy out the land. Zu hoisen atiyah medakatim. This lotion of we're scared, we don't know, we don't fully trust Hashem, was a natiyah, going away from Hashem, from trusting in Hashem. And since they didn't have faith in Hashem, they didn't accept Hashem, and they questioned Hashem, and therefore they lost the schus of being with Hashem, and they weren't going to be successful. The success depended on them. They wouldn't have been successful had they gone to Etzra at that time, because they questioned Hashem. So Hashem said, "I'm not going to take in," and they didn't have that schus. Had they had faith in Hashem and trusted in Hashem, that tamimus in Hashem, they wouldn't have needed any weapons. They could have gone straight in. So the next idea I want to bring down is on Perek Gimel, Pasuk Chaf Ches Lamed. So it's a huva barichas, that huva barichas is brought down. The Torah tells us heichis lonan b'nei Yisrael, how the b'nei Yisrael were complaining, or bochu, and they were crying, miro pachtan al she'im b'koichin la'arich machama. How we gonna survive against these giants? Yelidei anak, we're like grasshoppers in the eyes. And therefore, Olamos and Tan Kolov Benifuna V'Yoyme. So Kolov Benifuna was one of the Tzaddikim with the Yeshua ben Nun. The Yoyman, he said that the people had to tie. How we gonna fight these giants? We're small people. How practically we're going to do it? But Rashi, what does Rashi say? Kolov answers, we let us go, we'll go even in the Shemayim. We'll be successful. So the Chayr to me, if you look at it, it seems strange what he's answering. They argued and they said, how are we going to fight in Eretz Yisrael? But you've got these giants. And what was his answer? Even in Nala, let's go even to Shemayim. How does that answer their timeless? The Chayr, they didn't have faith in Hashem, but they lost the tamimus, as we said, but they had a taina. They said, how are we going to defeat these giants? So but the answer to that question didn't answer the question, how are we going to defeat it? Why didn't Kolev go against the argument? You consider Bonus with you, don't worry, he took you out of Mitzrayim, he'll help you in this. He didn't seem to answer the question. And he said, let's go. It's like he sort of, by not addressing their time, it seems that he agrees with them, and he answers something else. He says, yes, you've got a good answer. The Heilige Piazatzna Rebbe, Besifra Eish Kodesh, and his Sefer Eish Kodesh. It says a wonderful answer. What was the time? What was Kolev trying to say? This is how a Yid has to have a munah. Lo yibilva b'shah shiroya movoi v'derech l'shiosoi gam al pi sichlo v'derech hateva yamin b'Hashem sheyishu v'yitzchazek. Not only when things are going well and he can see a seichel away, and he says, yeah, Mitzvah Hashem, it will work out well. That's great to have a benor mitzvah Hashem then. Rakam b'shosh eina roy chas v'sholom shum movoi al pi seichel v'derech hateva l'shiosoi. He needs to have metochen Hashem also when he doesn't see a derech seichel. Rabbi Shalom says, and there isn't a seichel dikaweh. They are giants, but that's when they need to have metochen. Metochen is not only when things go easy, when you can see a way forward. when you've got a massive army, to say, we'll use the army, we'll use our nuclear weapon. No. In this case, they didn't have they didn't have a way, but that's what he was saying. That's what he's saying. Na'alem Shemai, you need to have faith in Hashem, even when it's not al pi derech hateva. That's what he was saying. Yamim b'Hashem sheyod b'yichazik be'emun b'tchoina. Adar b'shalzu toiv shelei zakesh lum se'eza seichel. This when it's a time when it doesn't seem mustaba to defeat them, and it doesn't seem. Then he says, you shouldn't find either seichel mova b'derech hateva. You shouldn't look for how we're going to do it. What al pi derech seichel, it's not going to work. Because you're not going to find it. They were giants. But with the help of Hashem, they would find the Matzlich. He says that was the Pagam Emunah, B'tchoina b'Hashem, by questioning in a time when they should have had pure B'tochen in Hashem and not use the Seichel to say, Seichel, you're right, Seichel, it doesn't work. But with the Bon Shem, Seichel doesn't work. Seichel doesn't work. You need to have pure B'tochen, even overriding Derech HaSeichel. He used to say Hakoil Emes She'otza Ami Hayoshev Bonim Advarim Besoris Komok Hini Mami B'Hashem Shila Meilech Begvul HaTeva. He needs to believe in Hashem, and Hashem is Meilech, is beyond Begvul HaTeva. He'll save us. And this is the story of the Yidden throughout many years. We survived for 5,000 years. That the Yidden will survive. We're a miraculous nation. Other nations, the Greeks, the Syrians, the Egyptians, they've come and gone. But the Yidden survive. Al pi derech hateva. It's not what we've gone through. We should still survive. We shouldn't survive. The Yidden survive. Al pi derech hateva. Not al pi derech hateva. Ma'ilem derech hateva. Sorry, below seichel. That's for emun b'toch Hashem, but open b'seit kovi, and having emun Hashem, that will bring the Yeshua, even when it doesn't seem so straightforward. This is what Korav was saying. Amnon, even if no, maybe aderech hateva, you're right. We can't conquer these giants because they're much bigger than this. Ki also we don't have put seichel into it. Without seichel, the chazik is munah. Let's strengthen our munah. Afilu b'shamayim who oim asu Shalom. Even if a bunch of goes to Shemayim v'ol shom natzliach b'chad. If we listen to what Hashem says, even if it doesn't pi derech haseva, pi derech seichel, that's where it comes in. And this also brings down the idea from the Sfas Emes, Sham Meraglim Ro Baruch HaKodesh, the Meraglim Sum Baruch HaKodesh, She'ein B'koichen L'konas Eretz B'derech HaTeva. They saw that they couldn't enter Eretz B'derech HaTeva. However, Im Hayu Mischazkim B'Shleimus Emunah, if they strengthened their Emunah B'Hashem, they would be able to go into Eretz B'derech HaTeva. Zechel L'konas, they would be able to enter Eretz. He goes to Koichel She'emunah, and the Koich of Emunah is so great. Levatel kol koiches hateva. Emunah can attack even koiches hateva. This is what they were lacking. Emunah k'mosh amru ki vada hoya nira la'ayin sichlan she'en koich nekana she'en nachdu. Yes, Hadech said they wouldn't be able to enter, but they had to look at this al pi ma'il midech hasevel. If they would believe and mevatlin, and they would mevatlin themselves to the Rosh Hashem, this would help Messiah lahem lasis ma'ateva, to go out from derech hateva. Kamosh Omer Hakadosh Baruch Hu Avram, say Mr. Niga Shlach, go out from your astrologies. And that's what he's saying, that sometimes we have to go Mayim Derech Hateva. Tochen and Munah Mayim Derech Hateva has a very powerful effect to even change your Munah. I want to say one last idea. It says, you should be careful on the honor, respect for your friend. And he brings down Yud Gimel, Yud Gimel, Yud Ches, Yud Aleph, Lamata Ephraim. We bring the two sons of Yosef. Lamata Ephraim, Lamata Yosef. Sometimes we mention Ephraim with Yosef. Lamata Ephraim, and then it says Lamata Yosef, Lamata Menashe. And the Ramban writes down that we find that many times that different the Shvatim are meyachas to Yosef. Ashnei Chalokim Shabbat Menashe Ephraim. Palmim Yakdim. Sometimes Ephraim will be mentioned first. and it will be mentioned with yichus to Yosef. Could go in Bereish in the beginning of Bar Mitzvah, b'nei Yosef le'Ephraim, and sometimes we see b'nei Menashe b'li yichus to Yosef. We see the opposite. We see sometimes Menashe is mentioned with shaychus to Yosef. Sometimes we see that Ephraim isn't mentioned with Yosef, and sometimes we see he is mentioned of Yosef. Or why sometimes Menashe Ephraim mentioned with Yosef not? This is how Hashem was mechalek. So he was mechalek kavod to both of them. Kavod shel Ephraim bezeh shekdim leMenashe. The Ephraim that sometimes he was put before Menashe. Lekavod shel Menashe mekach shichzu achim. That sometimes the kavod of Menashe that he's miyachas after Yosef. So we see that they have equal footing. So we see that the Hashem is worried about the kavod of Ephraim and Menashe. They shouldn't feel weakened by this. Since we see that sometimes they mention different orders to show that they're equalness, sometimes mentioned with Yosef and not with Yosef. If already the Torah is makbid of Ephraim and Menashe to show that we shouldn't put one before the other, how much more so how much more so we should give cover to our fellow man, when especially in this time where we are chalish das, weakened of mind, and the nation has many needs, but they have much das. If already the Torah is makbid about the kavod for Ephraim and Menashe, how much more so we should also be. This is what the Torah is saying. We should also be careful about the kavod of our friends and our relatives and our children. I wish you a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you for listening. As always, appreciate any comments at info@netfurniture.co.uk. Have a lovely Shabbos. Stay safe and be well.